My name is Charlotte Turner. I'm a Senior Associate in the Climate and Sustainability Risk Governance team at Minter-Ellison. Minter-Ellison is a large Australian commercial law firm and a leader in the climate risk and sustainability risk area. I am also the co-lead of the Asia Pacific region of the Chancery Lane Project. The Chancery Lane Project is a global initiative of lawyers banding together to find commercial contracting solutions to help solve the climate crisis. The biggest risks that Australian climate councils need to manage in the context of climate change is framing those risks as financial and legal risks and managing them in a holistic, proactive way. Climate change as a financial risk is broken up into three categories, with two primary drivers of risk being physical risks. These are the things that we think about most often when talking about climate change. These include long-term impacts such as sea level rise, coastal inundation, and also the acute physical risks of extreme weather events, bushfires, flooding, and storms. And in a council context, these need to be considered in how do they have an impact on council's built environment and assets, and also the service provision and the continuity of that service provision to the community. The second bucket is economic transition risks. These are the risks that are driven by the market responses to climate change and the physical risks, including policy and regulatory changes, technological changes, and stakeholder preferences. Stakeholder preferences from all ends of the spectrum, being debt and equity markets, down to the school children in your municipalities striking for climate. The third risk is born out of a potential mismanagement of the two primary risks, liability risk. These risks span across the whole legal arena, from planning and administrative decision-making, corporate law, duties, negligence, or contractual. Given the prevalence of the physical risk and economic transition risk, the liability risk horizon is significantly brought forward for local council. Increasingly, litigation is being used as a driver to change action. When councils say to me, we can't afford to manage climate risk, I say back to them, you can't afford not to. Councils are legally liable for managing climate risk, especially in the context of a world that is changing. We know that history is not a valid analogue for the future, and so council need to develop adaptation solutions and implement strategies to build systemic resilience to respond to the threats of climate change that are happening today and also be prepared for the future. Climate risk is a financial and legal risk, but also one that presents opportunities, and harnessing those opportunities builds wealth creation and value within local council. Without taking a proactive risk management approach to climate change, councils are leaving themselves vulnerable to lack of insurance, higher cost of insurance, the same with debt finance, and increasing costs throughout council service provision. There are plenty of opportunities to be harnessed through managing climate risk proactively, being green or sustainable finance, the opportunity to collaborate with other councils who are proactively managing climate risk, and that mitigates and manages the reactive nature of responding not only to extreme weather events, but also to the increasing costs and liability risks of not managing those risks. The decisions that senior leaders make today are really important for the future of councils. Holistically integrating climate risk management into all council functions and decision-making will only lead to more efficiency, value creation, and stability into the future. Studies have shown that organisations that have strong leadership from the top in managing climate risk issues effectively galvanise their workforces and the communities that they operate in as being a part of the solution to the climate crisis.